Oh, hey there! What brings you to my little corner of the world? Oh, you're here for a story? How exciting! Let me see if I have any stories that can keep you glued to this video until the end of this story. What's that, Kevin? You want to hear the story of how the Predator Helios 300 helped a little boy be the very best, which is adapted from true events? Alright, me boy, you gotcha. Okay, once upon a time, there lived a boy named Dutch who dreamed about competing in an e-sport tournament so that he could prove to all those who made fun of him that he is a worthy opponent. As it so happens, he got news of an Overwatch 2 tournament looking for participants to compete. Now, Dutch had the skill set required to become a champion. However, all that skill would mean nothing if he didn't have an equally skillful computer as his wingman. Unfortunately, the poor boy didn't have such a companion, only relying on his thin and light laptop, which was not designed nor equipped to handle the demands of video games. With only a month away from the eSport tournament, Dutch was determined to obtain a laptop that would not break a sweat while running the game. He decided to take a pharma loan, or better known as the father-mother loan, even though he knows that his parents are firm believers that video games are a menace to society. Mustering whatever courage he had, along with the determination to win the tournament, Dutch approached his father and asked, "Dad, can I have a new laptop for university?" "Sure, my dear boy whom I love very much. You can have the laptop that I used when I was in university." "That's swell, Dad, but I'm going to need something with a little more power and not crash every time I launch Chrome." "So, I was thinking something like a gaming laptop?" "Oh no. We don't do that here, and especially in this house. I'm afraid you will be tempted by evil video games. Run along now and go play outside." With a broken heart, Dutch ran out of the house with tears in his eyes. That night, he wished upon a shooting star. Lo and behold, his wish came true when a laptop box came flying at him. Dutch immediately recognized the logo on the box. His first instinct was to get to the chopper, but instead, he snuck the box back into his home and into his room. Nestled inside the box was the all-new Predator Helios 300. By just placing his hands on the chassis, Dutch could feel the presence of two beasts, the 12th Gen Intel Core i7-12700H and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 Ti sleeping inside, waiting to be awakened. With no time to waste, he turned on the laptop and fired up Overwatch 2. Knowing the power that lies beneath, he cranked the graphic options to their highest setting, as the Predator Helios 300 was more than capable of delivering a high-quality image and high frame rates simultaneously. Now that Dutch had found his wingman, he spent every day leading up to the competition date training and sharpening his skills. Whenever his dad came to check up on him, he could quickly and without lag switch to his homework thanks to the 12th Gen Intel Core i7-12700H. Besides being sneaky, the processor also had enough headroom to record his gameplay in the background, which Dutch used to review his performance. After weeks of preparing, the day of the tournament arrived. Dutch was nervous and a little scared, but he knew there was no turning back now. He knew that heroes are forged in the toughest of times. He stepped up to his booth, placed the Predator Helios 300 on the table, took a deep breath and sat down. Both Dutch and his wingman needed to bring their A-game, so he launched Predator Sense and switched the Helios 300 to extreme mode, taking the beast off its leash. He then fired up Overwatch 2 and waited in the lobby for a couple of minutes before dropping into the game. The game mode for this competition was Escort, where Dutch and his team have to escort a payload to the delivery point at the end of the map. Meanwhile, the defending team has to stop Dutch's team from pushing it. Dutch was playing as Ash, a damage class hero, so he had to navigate the map quickly to find the perfect location to make an entrance into the fight. Now, navigating the map was made easy by the Predator Helios 300's high-resolution QHD panel, which allowed him to identify small objects and the opposing team from a distance. Dutch had to be careful while he was traversing the map to get back to the payload, especially around corners where other players could leap out from. Lucky for him, the Helios 300 comes equipped with a high refresh rate display capable of up to 165Hz with a latency as low as 3 milliseconds. With this, Dutch is able to see and react to other players' movement and actions much faster. As the payload inched closer and closer to the end of the map, the stakes started to climb. But even as the situation started to heat up, Dutch remained calm and focused, while his wingman, the Helios 300, maintained a consistent performance by more efficiently removing the heat produced by the 12th Gen Intel Core i7 12700H with a liquid metal thermal compound. Before all that thermal energy heats up the laptop and makes it uncomfortable for Dutch to game on, the 5th generation Aeroblade 3D fans, each one equipped with 89 blades, can push a high volume of air to exhaust the heat generated by the CPU and GPU out of the chassis. With the Helios 300 providing the support that he needs, Dutch is inching closer and closer to victory. However, like every zero to hero tale, something must go wrong to pose a challenge. And sure enough, someone trips over the light cable, sending the room into darkness. This would have posed a huge challenge for Dutch if he was using his father's old laptop. But since he isn't, all he had to do was turn on the Helios 300's pulsar lighting system and change the lighting profile to a preset he called Battle Mode. Taking advantage of the individually lit keys using mini LEDs, Dutch was able to assign specific colors for WASD, Control, Shift, and the other important keys to easily identify them in the heat of the moment. Speaking about the heat of the moment, the end of the map was in sight. The outcome of this moment will define Dutch's life forever. And he does the unimaginable! He and his team successfully push the payload to claim victory! The crowd goes wild! People rush over to Dutch to celebrate his victory. Unknown to him, his father was among the audience as well, and he saw the passion in Dutch's eyes as he battled his way to the victory crown. His father walked over and handed the trophy to Dutch and said, "I am proud of you, my son." Now that Dutch had proven to the world that he was a worthy opponent, he went back home and spent the rest of his days gaming on the Predator Helios 300. Thanks to the 12th Gen Intel Core i7 12700H and especially that NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 Ti, he was able to play more demanding AAA games. With NVIDIA DLSS 2.0, he can enable ray tracing to get more realistic light rendering while still maintaining a solid frame rate for a good gaming experience. In the end, Dutch not only achieved his dreams, but also got the best wingman he could ever ask for. The end. Well, thank you for listening to this story until the end. I hope it inspired you to go out and achieve your dreams. Whether it's to ask that girl you have had a crush on for years, buy your dream car, or get a great wingman like the Predator Helios 300. I can't help you with the first two things, but for the third thing, you can check out the description below for more information on the Predator Helios 300. Now, excuse me while I fire up some calming games. Where is Doom Eternal?